about theater, from the page to the stage, from the players to the playhouses. We're here to bring you the stories of the people who bring you the stories that you see when you go out to theater in the evenings and on the weekends and anytime you go to see live theater. We're here to tell you all about how that's done, how that's possible. The people who bring you those stories, the actors, the playwrights, the directors, the crew, the audio techs, the sound people, and to let you know what's going on in theater here in Detroit and throughout the United States of America and occasionally throughout the world. So, welcome to Curtain Call today. I'm Robert Douglas, your host, and we have with us today as our guest Miss Stacey Barrett, one of the most outstanding actors and singers in the city of Detroit. We're going to be talking about theater today. We're going to be talking about her today. As we open up, I just want to let you know that theater season is well underway here in the city of Detroit. There are plays and shows going on all over town and throughout the region. For example, the Detroit Rep has just had its playwrights lab a couple of weeks ago, and it's about to open up a show coming up soon. I had to look that up to let you know what it is, but the Detroit Rep is about to come up with something. The Detroit Public Theater has opened up with Here There Are Blueberries, which is running now through October 1st through November 2nd. The Detroit Public Theater, this is their 11th season. The Rep is about to start their 68th season. Stagecrafters is about to open up, coming up, their 70th season. Birmingham Village is opening up with, what is the play we said they were doing at Birmingham?
Man of La Mancha is what they
Man of La Mancha is opening up at the Birmingham Village Players in Birmingham. We're going to talk a little bit about that because Miss Barrett has had experience on that stage. She's had experience on Stagecraft stage. She's had experience on some stages that I've been on, so worked on. So we're going to have a good time today talking about theater. Stacey was telling me about a theater that I didn't know about. Stacey, welcome to the show, first of all.
Well, thank you, Mr. Douglas. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you here. Been trying to get you on for about a year now.
Yes, sir.
She's a busy lady. So you were telling me about Nicely.
Yes.
Okay, a new
Nicely
theater.
Yes, they've been around. This might be their third or fourth season. Don't quote me on that. But they are a new theater. A lot of my stagecrafter friends have done shows over there. They did Pippin last year. They were doing Fiddler on the Roof. They just opened this weekend.
Okay.
And they are in the Berman, what's it called? The Berman Community Theater, which is right there at 15 Mile and
That's
in West Bloomfield.
West Maple and
West Maple.
Drake, I believe
Yes,
that is. What
yes,
the
yes.
Jewish Community Center
Yes,
is.
beautiful theater.
So didn't know about that when I had tried to contact the Jewish Ensemble Theater, but they are no longer a functioning theater. So Nicely has taken up that space.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's good to know. So we know there's theater going on all over town, everywhere that you can think about going. Even in at Mercy College, there's theater going on over there. Some of the local playwrights are constantly doing things. I think T.J. Hemphill's got a play coming up over there soon. And I think also Angela Barrow Dunlap is doing something over there as well. So theater is alive and well in Detroit. What we want to do is make you aware of theater so that you will come out and support these projects, support these shows, support the people in them, and just uplift the performing arts, the whole cultural aspect of performing arts here in the city of Detroit. So again, welcome, Stacey.
Thank you.
We go back a few years.
Just a few.
Just a few. She's been in a few of my productions, at least three that I can think of. Four, if you count the play with Ron Milner did for us a few years ago called Checkmates.
Yes.
So I'm going to let her tell you about her, what made her decide she wanted to go into theater, at what age. Okay, let me say this about Stacey as well. She is the only left brain, right brain person I've ever met, or that I can say that I actually know. Someone who does the arts. She sings, she dances, she acts, she directs, she composes, she does all of that, and she teaches science.
Yes, indeed.
She teaches science. And when did you know you could do all of that?
Well, I've coined this recently that I have the brain of a scientist but the heart of an artist.
Okay, I like that.
Thank you. I've always been an artist, but I grew up in the 80s. I'm a 70s baby. Grew up in the 80s, and the push for women in STEM was just starting to bud. And my parents, who were both educators, were, you're not going to be a starving artist. We want you to go into this so you can always have a job. And so they pushed me into the sciences, which I like. Like I can do it because my brain works that way, but I'm really, really an artist. And so I'm happy to be able to marry the two in my classroom. My mother was classical vocalist. She was trained at Wayne State and the conservatory, which is no longer there, but she wanted to be the next Leontine Price.
Okay.
So it was singing was in my blood, and the theater part just kind of came along with it. My first production was in elementary school, and I went to Detroit Open School, which is no longer around. The building is still there, but the school is no longer around. So hey to my open schoolers, if you're out there listening. And they would do these productions every year. The principal, Laura Jean Milligan, she just loved theater and music. And with these elementary kids, she would do Broadway productions. At my first one was Annie. And that was in elementary school. I was in the 4th grade. And I was a black Annie, y'all. So that was a thing, because at the elementary school, all the numbers were, they were chorus numbers, they were ensemble. But they saw something in me and said, well, you know what, we're going to let her sing tomorrow. So I sang tomorrow, and I didn't tell my parents. I just said, come and be surprised. And so that was my first musical.
So you were Annie.
I was Annie. I was a black Annie.
In the 4th grade?
In the 4th grade.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. And at that school, by the time I left 8th grade, I had done Annie, South Pacific, Oliver, and Sound of Music.
4 of the classics. For the classic. That's
For
good
sure.
training.
Yeah.
At any stage, at any age, to do those shows, those 4 classic shows, is good theater training. Not only just theater training, that's musical theater training.
For sure.
Musical
For sure.
theater, there is a difference. Yeah.
No doubt, there is a difference.
Yeah, because that takes a lot of energy to do theater in the first place. If you're doing just a regular stage play, but if you're doing a musical,
Yes.
then you're not only you have to act, but you have to incorporate the dancing, the singing, the choreography. Everything has to work together for a musical stage production. So that's good training.
Yeah.
So just doing regular stage work, it was a piece of cake for you.
Well, it was something that I loved and something that I was good at. And my parents, and they were still my biggest cheerleaders, but they're like, no, you're not going to be one of those going to New York finding your way. You're going to have a job, girl, and you can go into science and then education, because you'll always have a job. You can always teach. And I mean, I do find that to be true.
Yeah.
But that theater still seeps its way into my classroom, even with science.
Now, I think that's very unique, because I saw you were planning something was it Friday or Thursday for your classroom? She incorporates theater in the classroom, and it's kind of a sight to behold. I think she is probably the most active, most energetic, most hyper person I know right now in terms of working in the classroom, working with middle school kids. I'm not talking high school. I'm talking about middle school. They're crazy in middle school. In case y'all didn't know, middle school kids are off the chain crazy.
They are something.
Yeah, but you gotta love them.
Gotta love them.
You gotta love them. If you don't,
Yes.
you're crazy. But she incorporates theater in the classroom, and so she had something last week. I can't remember what it was now.
Are you talking about my Fertilizing Fridays?
Yeah, Fertilizing Friday. That's what it was.
That didn't have a lot of theater, But public speaking, so my school has adopted some of the practices from the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta.
Okay.
And one of the things that they do every time a child speaks in class, when they're giving an answer in a discussion, they have to stand on their feet, they have to keep their hands above their waist, they have to make eye contact with everyone in the room, and they have to, use their hands. So we're doing that, but then in addition to that, me with my, theatrical self, find ways to do that as well. So with Fertilizing Fridays, the students have just a topic that they have chosen from a list that I've given them, and they have to teach us how something works. So it's still science and STEM, but they can't read from the board. They have to know it. They have to be able to talk to us like it's their everyday. This is how I blink. That is the requirement for it.
Okay.
And we just had another one this past Friday. It had students teaching us about how certain sports work. So talking about, I had someone how kicking a soccer ball, the force and the torque and all of that goes with that. Also throwing a football and running track, how the brain and body connection happens, and they had to explain that and teach us and show us, have something for us to see, something for us to hear, and something for us to do.
Okay.
Yeah. But we do skits. When I taught at Mumford High School, hey, Mustangs, if you're out there, we would do skits in chemistry. 'Cause the periodic table is just a neighborhood. It's nothing but Love Island. At least that's how I teach it.
Okay.
You got your metals on one side, the non-metals. The metals are like the men, and the non-metals are the women. They need to exchange electrons to bond. So this is how I teach it. It's like this trying to take your man, and you're going to let him take your man. And you're going to, it's all like that. And they really get it, but they're really on the sneak learning about ionic bonding. But they're writing scripts. They're doing comic books. They are... And a few years ago with my 8th graders, because I teach my 8th graders chemistry and physics as well, and that was a very precocious group, and they were my man. So I was like, okay, they probably would want to do something with a reality TV show. So they did reality TV shows with the elements and people getting in relationships and somebody breaking somebody up, and all that is the breaking of ionic bonds, right? So, but it was still theatrical.
Wow. See, and if I knew what science mean, if I knew any science at all, then I would know what she's talking about.
Right.
I'm clueless right now.
So, well, I'll just give you a little bit. So the metals all of them have valence outside electrons. The metals need to give their electron to bond. The nonmetals need to receive electrons to bond. So, and the nonmetals change their last name. So think about it as a marriage, right? If I could just find somebody, and these are some of their scripts, if I could just find me a man with one valence electron. And so then here he comes, and they exchange electrons, and now they're bonded, and now you've changed your last name from chlorine to chloride, and now you're sodium chloride, and that's a chemical compound, which is table salt. But they do it in a dramatic way. They've had weddings. I've had wedding stories. They've dressed up. Like, this is what we do in the name of science, but also in the name of theater.
Did y'all get that?
Was that too much, y'all? I'm sorry.
No, I finally got it when she said sodium chloride from whatever it was, the first name was. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's a wonderful way of teaching it. And with our young people nowadays, you've got to be able to reach them in a way that they will grasp it and run with it. The old models of teaching just don't work nowadays. And I'm not going to get into that subject because I think a lot of that comes off of being out of school for 2 years with COVID and that sort of thing, including the behavior of some of these kids now. But you've got to be able to be creative in the classroom, and there's no better way than to be able to incorporate the techniques of theater to do that. One of the things I've always talked about as far as theater is concerned is that if you are shy, if you are afraid to speak in public, if you want to learn how to speak in public, if you want to learn to be able to get over the fear of public speaking, there's no better place than to do that than on the stage, because you can be somebody else on the stage, and that carries over. It carries over in how you speak, because to do theater, you have to be articulate, you have to enunciate, you have to be able to make eye contact, or you just have to be able to to deliver an interpretation.
Yes.
And so that carries over to the classroom. A lot of what goes on in the classroom is being able to interpret the lesson that you and the subject matter, no matter what the subject matter is, science, art,
True.
history, especially history, math. The math, I don't know. She's making
Yes.
sound like she's making science sound
Yes,
pretty
math.
dramatic, but math, I really,
Yeah,
you'd have to help
that
her
would be a
with-
challenge.
that,
That would be a challenge.
that would be a challenge. So that's an excellent way of being able to do incorporate theater into the education.
Teaching.
Of
For
our
sure. I say that all teachers should take an acting class.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no doubt. I say to myself, I say, well, to anybody that's listening, I do 5 shows a day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I do, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and even now with, YouTube, and I teach with a microphone on because so
You
I can
do.
project.
I've been in the building when
And
you've
I
done
have
that.
I have a wireless handheld so that when the kids need to speak, they can be on the microphone. Like it's a big deal. But it's like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Because I'm on YouTube. Like I am on the stage. I was just last weekend in LA. One of our theater teachers from Castech, hey CT, Marilyn McCormick, y'all know MC. She is in LA now, and so the cast technicians who live in LA, they gather to celebrate her and get her out. She's been in a care facility. She suffered a stroke, and so now she's recovering. And she told me that by November she's going to be up out of there. So I'm holding you to that, Miss McCormick. I told you I'm gonna check on you right after Election Day. And so we had a gathering for her, and it was so beautiful how. Some of the students are working actors, some on television, some on stage, some are doing their own production type things, and just to see them and for them to be able to celebrate her and know that this is their teacher. And we had people like I graduated in 90. There was people from 94, 95, 2011. Like this is a span for she was at
One of
CAS for
those.
many, many years. And I was talking to her and she said, yes, when I taught, it was a show. I had 5 shows a day. So I'm like, well, we're speaking the same language. And she taught theater and drama. But here I am teaching science, doing the same thing, applying the same things that I learned
Using
from
theater
being
and drama.
from being there,
Okay, what's her name again?
Marilyn McCormick.
Well, shout out to you, Marilyn McCormick in
Yes.
L.A.
Yes,
And all you
LA.
cast technicians out there.
CT number 1, second to none.
Yeah, I was happy. Just heard the Fred Brothers say Renaissance was number 1 right now.
Well.
We're not going to talk about
We're
that.
not going to talk about that.
So
We don't talk about Bruno.
So you are watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world, streaming to you on YouTube. Anytime you want to see us, just go on YouTube, look for Curtain Call. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Tell us what you think. Spread the word. Tell your family, tell your friends. Let everybody know that what we're trying to do with theater in the city of Detroit and across the United States of America. Again, you're watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. Now, Miss Teacher, Science in the Right Brain, Left Brain artist.
We kind
now-
of went on a tangent. 'cause we
That
went
was a good
from
tangent, though,
elementary school
because
to
what we're trying to do
classroom. Yeah.
is promote theater and all aspects. We've done theater in the church. We had
Yes.
Reverend Smalls on to do
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah, he sit right here in the studio,
Hey,
and
Smalls.
and we did the theater in the church because most of us either got started in elementary school, like you said, or started in church.
the
I mean,
church.
that's where I got my start
Yes.
in church. Doing
Singing
the
in the
Easter
choir, the
programs
Easter yes, the
and the
poems.
Christmas programs and
Yes.
and the grandmother tea parties and that sort of thing, reciting scripture and doing little skits in church. We've covered a lot of aspects of theater. We've covered a lot of people in theater. And in the future, folks, we're going to be talking to people, playwrights from other cities around the country, actors and actresses from other cities around the country as well. So incorporating theater in the classroom is an area that needed to be explored, needed to be talked about, because we don't really realize that. And maybe some of the teachers out there who are watching this show can think about that. Take an acting class. Incorporate some aspects of public speaking or stage craft in your classroom. It might be just what you need right now to keep the attention of these young people, especially in middle school and high school.
Yes.
So thank you for that little bit of knowledge and information.
I go on a tangent, but I always come back.
That's all right. The tangent is a good thing.
Yes.
That's going to get us where we need to go. Back to you.
Yes, sir.
We know about those major musicals you did in school. And then you went off to North Carolina A&T. Historically Black College, y'all love them.
Yes, Aggie Pride.
Yeah.
I'm shouting out everybody today.
That's all right.
Listen.
I'm going to shout out Big Blue Pride. TSU just won a homecoming against Howard.
Sure did.
So-
wow, I was like, wow, y'all beat Howard?
Yeah, and it was, oh, man, like they said, it was lovely. I missed it this time. So at A&T, what did your experiences like?
Wow. So at A&T, I did no theater whatsoever.
None?
None. I took a class, like a theater appreciation. Well, because you have to remember, I was an engineering major.
Engineering
so even
major.
at Cass, I was in the chemical engineering curriculum, but I was also in the Performing Arts Guild. So people kind of knew what I did, but they didn't. Like, I even have some 90s now. They're like, you sing? Like, yeah, because I did most of my stuff outside of school. So from elementary school to Cass in 10th grade, we did Fame. We did a production of Fame. And I was Coco. And so that was the last thing I did until adulthood in terms of musical theater. Well, no, I take that back. I did stuff in grad school, but not in undergrad.
Okay.
And so I tell this story. I just told this story last week to the people in LA. I always wanted to be in Dreamgirls, right? I always wanted to do a production of Dreamgirls, and I always wanted to be Laurel. I know you thought I was going to say Dina, didn't you? I always wanted to be Laurel. So, like I said, I graduated in Cass in 1990. In the fall of 90, so I was already at A&T. In that spring, actually, the spring of 91, Cass did Dreamgirls.
Wow.
But no, it's worse. It gets worse. It gets worse, Mr. Douglas. The spring of 90, when I was a senior in high school, A&T did Dreamgirls.
Wow.
So I missed Dreamgirls twice.
Wow.
So when Stagecrafters did Dreamgirls in 2016, I was able to finally do the show. But I didn't get to be Laurel or Dina, but I was Michelle, and I was a step sister. You know, the group at the beginning that, and Michelle. So I was a part of that production. So I was very grateful to be able to do that. I don't know if you came and saw that 2016. So yeah, that was my thing. But I didn't do anything at A&T except I was in the university choir. So there I was able to get classically trained in voice.
Okay.
And I really consider myself a singer who acts, not the other way around.
Okay.
Which is why it was such a wonderful and amazing challenge when you put me in Checkmates, because that was
But for you had done Bringing the Word first, right?
Right.
Okay.
So Checkmates was a stretch for me because there was no singing, there was no dancing. What am I going to do? Like, this is just acting.
That was your first just straight play?
Yes, that was my
Checkmates?
first. Yes.
I thought when you did Bringing the Word that you had done a lot of.
No, I had only done musicals, and so I was grateful for that I was able to do just acting, because I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't no singing. Like,
Because Bringing the Word is I wouldn't call Bringing the Word a musical.
Right.
It's more like a musical drama.
Right, it was drama with music in it. That's true,
Yeah.
but it was still singing.
Right.
I still think that I got that part because of my singing
Oh yeah,
audition.
definitely. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Right. So from A&T, then I went to University of Illinois to get my master's,
Okay.
and I did a production of Hair.
Okay.
So we did Hair, and also I did The Wiz, and I was in ensemble in The Wiz, but I was a poppy dancer, which again, I'm a singer who acts and dances, right? But they gave me these dancing roles. Like I was a poppy dancer. I was a tornado dancer. Like I don't know what they saw me live. I must have been pretty good, but those were the two productions I did. But also when I was at University of Illinois is when I first got introduced to jazz.
Okay.
To jazz. And I was there for the summer before my senior year for a little summer program, a senior research opportunities program. I think they still do that, student research opportunity, SROP. And then I got a scholarship to go there for my master's. Met some. I did one song at the summer program and met up with some musicians. And I was in a jazz band. I became an instant jazz singer.
Wow.
One of your frat brothers, what was his name? Mark something. But that was the first time I heard Sarah Vaughan.
Really?
He played. My parents didn't. They didn't listen to jazz. You know, they weren't. You know, everybody like, oh yeah, my daddy used to play. No, not my parents. They weren't jazz people. They were classical. I grew up listening to classical music and pop music and then disco. You know, R&B, but not jazz.
Sarah Vaughan.
Not Sarah. I heard Sarah Vaughan for the first time when I was a grad student at University of Illinois.
Wow.
And
she has one of
Dee
those.
Dee Bridgewater.
Right,
and,
right.
Of course, Ella and who else? Betty Carter and I can't think of everybody right now. But that's when I first heard it, and so
Dinah
of
Washington.
course, of course, yes. Oh, I remember Phil. Do you know Phil Hale? He's a musician, a keyboard jazz musician here,
I think so,
locally.
yeah.
He made me a little mixtape of all these female jazz artists to listen to, and that's when I first heard Dinah Washington. And I'm in like my 20s by now, so you would think like, oh, you should have been known about jazz, but I didn't, you know. But then once I heard it, that was it for me. Like, oh, I just want to sing jazz, you know.
Exposure, y'all.
Yeah,
That's
real.
what that is.
For
And
real.
sadly, young people are not getting exposed to that now. They're not getting exposed
Well,
to
in my
jazz.
classroom,
Of course, in your
listen,
classroom.
in my classroom, we have themed music days
Okay.
each day of the week. So when they come in, there's music playing. Monday is musical and movie Monday. So today we were listening to Princess and the Frog. Sometimes I'll throw in a Disney. But a lot of times I want to give them something new. But a lot of times as well, I want them to have something that's familiar to get them. So then like, oh, what are we going to listen to next week? You know, Tuesday is old school. And it's crazy what old school is now, Mr. Douglas. Like, old school is like Mary J. Blige is old school. I'm really, like, she's old school. Like, okay.
Okay,
Stuff-
so
yeah.
what does that say
Young
about
stuff is
me?
old. I'm just saying. I'm like, what? But
Yeah.
so old school's on Tuesday. Wednesday is Worship Wednesday.
Okay,
So we listen to worship music. Thursday is jazz.
okay.
And then Friday is Freedom Feel Good Friday. So at first I just play whatever, but I had let them put together their own playlist. So they submit 2 clean radio edits of songs, and then we put together, each class gets to put together their own playlist, and so that's what
wow.
we're playing on Fridays. So they gotta hear, you can tell who be in the car with their auntie, because they be singing along to the,
Oh, okay.
to the old school stuff, like, oh yeah, we listen to 92.3. I'm like, okay.
Old school Mary J.
Old school
Blige,
Mary J. Blige. I'm
yeah.
like, she's old school.
New edition. And that,
Right, that's old school.
That's old school.
Like, okay, I guess.
Okay,
I'm just
so
old.
what
We
does
sitting
that
up in
make
here
us?
old.
Classic
Right.
ancient history?
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, exposure. That's what I
Yeah,
want.
exposure
That's
is
what
the
I
key.
want,
And
yeah.
again, it's what we're all about. You're watching Curtain Call on WJZZ, Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world, streaming to you live on YouTube and restreaming on YouTube all week. And whenever you want to go on, look up Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, and you can see all our episodes all the way back to the beginning in the summer of 24. So they're all there. They're all interesting. So tell your friends, tell your
Yes.
family.
Hit that like and subscribe button.
Yeah, that's right. Hit that like and surprise button, and let's get Curtain Call out there so that we can grow theater, so that we can enlighten our community, get our young people to go out and support theater, because once you see it, once you get into it, once you get bitten by it, don't get on the stage. If you get on the stage, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
You won't be able to get it out your system ever. So, again, you're watching Curtain Call on WJZZ, Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. Now,
I'm sorry, we're just all over the place.
yeah, we're all over
Like
the place.
we got like
but we-
17 episodes just in here.
Right, but it's all theater, right?
It's all theater.
It's all
it all ends
theater.
up tying in.
So I'm curious. So I did not know when I cast you in Bringing the Word that you hadn't done plays outside of musical theater. So okay. So now that was a challenge. Bringing the Word we did that for Detroit 300. That was in 2001. We're telling our age again.
Did you tell them about what Bringing the Word? Have you in the other episodes? Have you?
No,
talked about
we hadn't talked about
Oh,
Bringing the
okay.
Word. Bringing the Word is the actual title. It's called Bringing the Word: The Legacy of Black Preachers in Detroit, which was commissioned as a part of the year-long celebration for Detroit 300 in 2001. Being a part of that commission to provide something for the city to do that year to celebrate its 300th anniversary, I wrote a play celebrating the black churches and the history of black preachers in Detroit, starting with W.C. Monroe at Second Baptist Church, which was the first black church in Detroit, and then that was St. Matthew's and Bethel AME Church was the first three black churches. So we celebrated the preachers of those churches. Then we celebrated the preachers of the Great Migration. And then we celebrated the preachers who were current at the time that we did it in 2001. And we did it almost like in the form of the Christmas story, not the Christmas story, but the Scrooge, where the principal, the main character, loses his eyesight and gets visited by the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit before he can realize that he's been called into the ministry. He's been called into the ministry, and he doesn't want to go into the ministry. But once he loses his eyesight and it gets a visit from the Father, and then from the Holy Spirit, and then from the Son, and then the Holy Spirit. Once he accepts his calling into the ministry, he gets his eyesight back. And Miss Baird played Hannah Faith Cole, his girlfriend, and eventually fiance and wife in that show. It was a musical. The dancing was the choreography, and the dancers came from the Detroit Windsor Dance Academy. We collaborated on that piece.
Debbie White Hunt.
Yep, and the music was written by Chris Knight, who just recently passed away, my longtime composer, and the maestro Alvin Waddles III,
Yes,
who did the opening number and another number that just was, that have actually, some people have gone into the ministry from that play and from those songs in that play. So yes, I casted Stacy because she could sing and act in that show, and it was we did it a couple of times, and we actually did excerpts at Shane Park that summer. So that was.
That was a production.
Yeah, it was a major production.
Yeah.
Major production. It was a lot of work putting all that together. I've always said the energy level and the amount of work that goes into pulling the dancing and the.
And don't forget, we had the ballroom dancers too.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Kevin and Pam.
We
Hey,
had
y'all.
ballroom dancers.
Yes.
Kevin Collins and Pam Moore.
Yes.
That was I wish I could show you that scene.
There.
I do have it on tape. I wish I could show you that scene because that was a beautiful scene.
Yes, it was.
They did a dance to you, and the main character's song what was the name of that song? It was a duet
Yes,
written by
I
Chris
remember
Knight.
singing it.
And it was a beautiful song.
It was.
And if you could see the dancers singing, the ballroom dancers singing along, dancing along to that song was a very special moment. I'm going to see if I can't pull that and pull it up one of these and show that to you on one of these shows, because that was special. And we're going to send a prayer out to Kevin. I understand.
Yes, I was going to say.
Yeah, we're going to send a prayer out to Kevin. We're praying for you, Kevin.
Yes, Kevin.
So do your thing, man. Come on and get back out on the dance floor, because we love you. Detroit's premier dancing couple.
Yes.
Kevin and Pam.
No doubt.
No doubt. No doubt about it. Bringing the Word was your first show with me.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a really good one. And then I actually didn't do the casting. Ron Milner did the casting. And Ron Milner, one of Detroit's most renowned playwrights. His legacy is everlasting here. His shows, he did Checkmate for us.
I want to do that show again, just so you know. I'm putting it out there. Hold him to it, y'all, because I want to do that show again.
I would like that, and I know Mike White would.
Mike White, hello.
I know Mike
Come on,
White
be
would
my
love
husband
that.
in the show.
And we did Mike White. That was my first introduction to Mike White, and he's been with me ever since. You've seen him on here a couple of times already. Checkmates was a very special production that we did at the Hope Repertory Theater is what it was called back then. And Ron directed it. I produced it, and Ron directed it, and it was a really, really good show. And I think we should try to do Checkmates again.
I felt like I was doing some for real. Like I felt like I was on some stage in New York because it was Ron Milner, right?
Yeah,
he was raw, and I would love to do it on a stage that's not in a church, so we can really do the show.
Oh,
we had to edit some stuff a little bit.
Yeah, we had to clean it up for the church.
Fellowship hall. We couldn't do it for the fellowship.
Right, that's a point. We're gonna have to look at doing some recycling some of these shows. That Bringing the Word would be good to be recycled.
The Jam Handy.
Yeah, and
down the street.
Where?
The Jam Handy, the theater down on the boulevard, just down from here.
You just named something else I didn't know about. Tell me about the Jam Handy.
I'm hoping it's still around and open, but when DATC, Detroit Actors Theater Company, would do shows there, or we would rehearse there. We had done some shows there, but mostly it's defunct now. The founder had passed away, and then it went defunct. But they would do shows. Everything was right on the boulevard. The where is that? Right across from the Fisher Theater. You know that little park that has the stage. What is that park called? But they did Dreamgirls there. We did
outside.
We did
That's
in the
the
Heights
right,
there.
the building. The Detroit Windsor is.
Yeah, so summer shows can go outside there, but further down, going east on the boulevard, the Jam Handy is a space that they've done. I know they did Christmas Carol there.
Okay.
And
that was the show I was referencing, to Christmas Carol.
Yes, Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And I think a church uses it too.
Okay.
So it's a space.
Okay. Okay. And then there's a theater out there that nicely is. I didn't think about when I realized that the Jewish Ensemble Theater was not still active.
Yeah, nicely uses it.
That was a space that could have been used.
And so I worked with a new theater company. They're in like their third season called the Rose Above Theater Company, and I was the musical director for a production of The Addams Family that they did. So they don't have a physical space either, but they used Bloomfield Hills High School stage. So
that's a good space.
It's a good space. Because it's a brand new school. The school is less than 10 years old, I think. And so it's available to rent because this theater company rented it. Okay. So that's another place.
So there's Oh, we got to explore some of these things.
Mr. Stokes, I'm gonna have to come back.
Yeah,
You're gonna
you
have to
definitely.
invite me back because
Miss
we didn't
Barrett
talk
will
about
be.
half the
Miss,
stuff we were supposed to talk about
yeah, Miss
today.
Barrett will be back.
Listen.
We still got plenty of time.
Oh yeah, we got all kinds
Yeah,
of
because I have
seasons
some
to tell
things.
you about.
Yeah, we want to talk a bit of. Okay, so once we got past checkmates, and of course you also did Family Love.
Family Love.
And
But you know what my favorite one was?
Grandma
You
Rogers'
about to-
neighborhood.
Yes.
Grandma
yes.
Rogers'
I
Neighborhood.
loved that character.
Yeah,
Oh, she was.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think that you're not to brag. I'm not bragging. Actually, I just my thoughts about my work. I think Grandma Rogers' Neighborhood has probably 3 of the most interesting characters that I've ever written. Grandma Rogers herself, who I actually took the saying that Reverend Bryan. I don't know if you remember Reverend Bryan.
You know I remember Reverend Bryan because I played her.
Yeah, that's right.
I
That's
played
right.
her.
We did a
her
tribute to.
retirement, yes.
Right, you did play her.
Okay, let's say the saying together because I still say this to my students.
Okay.
Be who you is and not who you ain't.
Cause when you is who you ain't, you still ain't.
I
Okay,
love it.
that's Grandma
Yes,
Rogers.
yes, sir,
And
yes, sir.
I got that from Reverend Bryan, and I thought, man, that's a heck of a saying. And then Ron Milner, we were auditioning for, was it Checkmates? It might have been Checkmates. Ashley Richardson auditioned for Checkmates.
Oh, she did. That's where you found Ashley.
That's where I found
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Ashley, we
She was
auditioned
amazing.
it, and she was too old for any of the roles in Checkmate. And I told her she was so good in the audition that I told her, I said, look, I want to write a play for you. And I wrote Grandma Rogers' Neighborhood for Ashley.
Wow.
And I took that line from Reverend Bryan and made that Grandma Rogers.
You know, I didn't remember that Reverend Bryan said that. I just knew it was from Grandma Rogers.
Right,
'Cause I-
Reverend Bryan put
yeah.
that out there.
Wow.
And because she said there was a Grandma Rogers, old lady who sat on her porch on the east side of Detroit, who would say that to all the people going by.
Wow.
And so that's who Grandma Rogers became
Oh, I
to
would
be.
do that show again too. I would do that one too.
And the character though that I think is my most intriguing is one-armed Jesse. And of course the sister, the role that you played, what's her name?
Macy.
Macy. I couldn't remember her name. My own play I wrote, and I couldn't remember her name. It was an interesting character. So I'm not going to tell you much about her
Oh, I
because
love
you
playing
got to
her.
see the play to know about Macy. But One-Armed Jesse was actually based on a character that was in my neighborhood when I grew up in North Nashville. That was her name, One-Armed Jesse. And she was an old bag lady that pushed a grocery cart all over town, talking to herself and waving at one arm. And, you know, people were kind of scared of her. But she was just a character in North Nashville that moved about North Nashville with that grocery cart full of junk, talking to herself. And so I created a story around her. And Old Man Boone, I created a story around a old white man that lived up the street from us. The only white man in the neighborhood.
Yes.
His name was Mr. Stevie, actually.
Okay.
And Old Man Boone is based off of him. So
Okay. I love that you dug into your own
yeah.
reality and also your own imagination.
Right.
just
Right.
created
I didn't know those people's stories.
Right,
To this day, I don't know their stories.
Right,
But
they
I created
were from your childhood. They were
Right.
in there, in your psyche.
The characters are there, so I just created stories for those characters. And I think One-Armed Jesse, when I go back and I look at the dialogue, the lyrics, I mean the words, the things she was saying and she went through, that was a good piece of work.
It was. It was.
It was. That was
You can
good.
go ahead and pat yourself on the back for that one. That's okay.
Yeah, that was a good piece of work. And it's I would love to sit out in the audience and watch
Yes.
the response of the audience as they watched all my plays. But that one in particular, the response of the audience was all over the place. They were crying, they were laughing, they was crying, they was laughing. It was just a good experience, and enjoyed it. So yeah, we're gonna have to recycle some of these
For
plays.
sure.
It's a lot of work done. I'm getting kind of
Yeah, it
old. I don't know if I
is.
can do all that
Well,
work.
you need to get a predecessor, not a predecessor. That's before you.
Now
You need to get you a protege. That's what I
right,
mean.
right.
Yes.
And there's some people out there that could do that. You still young enough to do that.
Child. Yes.
So
Perhaps.
we are we're just having a good time reminiscing, talking about
Yes.
theater and the characters,
Apologies.
and then again theater and some of the things, the possibilities. I've got a show called Joy Road.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, have you read Joy Road?
I read it.
She read Joy Road. And trying to get that out there. Thinking about asking Plowshares if they would do it, or Obsidian if they would do it. Joy Road, and I'm trying to get the rep to do Grandma Rogers. I would love to have a rep to do Grandma Rogers. You hear me, Leah?
Come on,
Rep,
Leah.
Leah,
Listen
Grandma
up.
Rogers neighborhood. You want to do that one?
Yes, we need to promote our local playwrights.
Yeah. And so that's why it was so good to be involved in that playwrights lab that I was just did a scene from. When I picked the scene, I didn't know who had written it, but it was written by Charity Clark Anderson, and it was really really good. And I'm hoping that she will do the entire play, if not at the rep somewhere,
Okay.
and ask me to direct the whole thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we're kind of looking forward to the future. We haven't really talked about the future of theater here in the city of Detroit. We know it's a lot going on. We got all kind of playwrights from your Chitlin Circuit urban theater playwrights to your
To Broadway in Detroit.
Broadway in
at the
Detroit,
Fisher.
right? And we got the Shakespeare that Morgan has just did something with Morgan Breon. We had her on the show as well. Has just done something with Shakespeare in Detroit. So again, theater in Detroit is on and popping, and we have got to expose it, and we've got to get you guys out to see it.
Yes.
And also, we haven't talked about this, Stacy, but she sings. She sings on the weekends. She sings throughout the week. She gets up, goes to class, does a
Five shows.
Facebook story before she goes to work. On her way to work.
On the way to work.
Then she does these 5 shows in the classroom every day, and then she goes and performs on somebody's stage somewhere doing theater or singing
And I'm
with
a
a
theater
live band.
mom because my daughter's in Mosaic.
That's right.
Mosaic Youth Theater. We have to talk about
We
Mosaic.
definitely
Youth
have to
Theater.
talk
They
about
have some
Mosaic.
Shows coming up that we need to talk about.
Right,
because
because I wanted you to bring Zora with you so we could talk with her as well. So we'll
Yes.
have to get Zora on and have
And
our
we'll-
own show.
Yes, and we
bring
have
it-
to get some Mosaic people from Mosaic to come and talk about.
Right, we did Mosaic once. We had some people on from Mosaic for them show they just did this past spring that they wrote themselves.
Oh yes.
And so
The
we got to get them
Julius
back
Caesar,
on.
That one,
Which one?
Julius Caesar. That
Yes, Julius
Yeah,
Caesar.
Zora was in that.
That was So
yeah.
yeah, she was, and that was a good one. We enjoyed that. We got to get Mosaic back on, and especially to talk up their upcoming season.
Yes.
This is Curtain Call. We're so happy to
been
have you,
yapping it
and
up.
she will be back, guys.
I'm gonna have to come back.
Yeah, and we're going to keep this thing going because we just want to promote theater. You see how excited we get about it, how happy we are to talk about it, and there's a lot we can talk about, a lot we can cover. So, again, you're watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. And we're going to be bringing you people from New York. We're going to have somebody on from the Black Theater Festival that goes on in Durham, North Carolina every other year. We're going to get a playwright from down there as well. We're going to bring on our old friend Robert Douglas. And that's Robert K. Douglas. I'm Robert L. Douglas. We're going to get Robert K. on, and we're going to get my friend Lee Summers from New York, who's done Broadway and who wrote the book for the show that Frida Payne did. What was that? Was that Ella?
Was that what it was?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, Lee Summers wrote the book for that. So we're going to get all these people on, and we're just going to do theater as long as we possibly can. So we want you to join us, be a part of this theater cultural movement. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Stacy, for coming
Thank
on.
you for having
We're
me.
looking
It was
forward
so
to having
fun.
you
Yes,
back.
I'll be happy to be back.
And thank you.